YouTube? It's Kylie Martin here. We are back again on the Supercross BMX YouTube channel. And guys, we've already gone over what essentials that you need to be bringing to the track if it's your first time. But what we didn't go into is how you guys should be planning out your training schedule, okay? How are you guys ever going to advance if you don't have a solid training program, solid foundation, and all that good stuff to build off of? So in today's video, we're going to be going over a couple different ways that you should structure out your training plan if you're a beginner getting into it and you want to advance quickly. So let's get into it.
Tell me what you really want from me. Point blank, no discussion.
Alright guys, so first things first, jumping right into the video here, you're going to want to have a time layout. You want to have your frame figured out on how long you have until what your whatever goal is, okay? So let's just say you grab a calendar, a notebook, even grab your phone if you have to, whatever's going to help you keep track of that day amount that you have until your goal for planning out what you're trying to do. So let's just say, okay, cool, I have a month leading up to an event, that's 4 weeks. Each week should have a different goal. You want to keep progressing, you want to keep staying out of your comfort zone, especially if you're a beginner, because guys, you don't want to be a novice your whole life. If you do, I mean, that's cool, great for you. I could never do that. I literally wanted to go expert as soon as I joined the sport. So with that, like I said, guys, you want to have an established time frame laid out of what you're trying to do and how you're trying to progress. For me, it was easier to kind of just look at it by a monthly view, which is why that's instantly where my mind goes, because when I was escalating through it, it was, okay, each week's a different goal. I'm going into it with a different kind of mindset every single week for what I'm doing at the track, what I'm doing outside of the track, all that good stuff. So like I said, guys, let's just say you have a month to figure out whatever your end goal is. You never want to stay stagnant. If you're not moving forward, then you're basically moving backwards and holding yourself back. You don't want to do that, especially as a beginner. This is when you want to set up your foundations for having those positive kind of habits. You know, you want to start getting in the groove of, okay, I'm always doing something new. And yeah, you're going to be at a point where you kind of stop with that progression and you're just getting faster and escalating. And that's okay. That's not bad. But when you're a novice, there's so much stuff that you can learn right off the bat super quickly that I feel like you guys kind of don't always take into account. So with that, let's just say you have a month to figure out how to manual. The foundations of that is going to be to build your bike skill. So week 1, you're going over basic bike control drills. So let's just say, cool, I'm going to go ahead day 1, make sure my bike's clean for the week. That should be your day 1 for all of it. Make sure that your bike is ran through, clean, dialed in. Then you want to have a simple 10 to 15 minutes of riding it around, trying to get a little bit familiar with it. Maybe you're carving in the street a little bit. But when I was learning how to pump, we went to a skate park and I remember being on, I think that I was still on a park bike. So I don't even remember what it was. I think it was a Fit. But you want to go ahead, get used to that kind of grooving around inside of a skate bowl, around a skate park, just getting familiar with your bike and kind of building, as weird as this is going to say, like a bond and like a trust for a frame. If a rider doesn't trust a frame, you can see it from a mile away. So as a beginner, you want to have full faith in your bike that nothing's going to happen to you when you're riding it. So kind of push those limits a little bit, get out of your comfort zone in that week 1 area, and then going into week 2, work on upping your skill. Work on when you're at the track, you're carving turns a little bit more. You're learning how to kind of control that bike over the jumps, and you're working on pumping through the rhythm section more aggressive, getting those kind of pre-manuals. They're not necessarily going to be pre-manuals for you guys, because for us, we got to lean back and go over. For you guys though, you can just over-exaggerate your pump and go down on it. That helps all the same as well. But it's kind of just figuring out where you can gain more speed at and where you can't, relying more on how you can maneuver the bike versus just how fast you can pedal the bike, if that makes sense to you. Then going into week 3, you can finally start going ahead and realizing, okay, cool, I'm going fast. Now it would be all right if I tried to manual this or if I tried to jump that. So then you're kind of starting to throw that into the groove a little bit of, okay, you know, I'm going to try and get out of my comfort zone and manual this little double real quick, or I'm going to jump this small little tabletop. Whatever the case may be, any progress is progress, even if it's this small, guys. Okay, I remember I used to think that this was huge. Just saying, okay? If this is huge and you're jumping that, congratulations, that's a big deal. I'm proud of you guys for that. Then by week 4, hopefully you're jumping it confident, because week 3, week 2, week 1, you worked up to this point. So now you're confident, you know what you're bringing to the table. And with that, you're able to be like, okay, cool, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna air out that pro set, or I'm gonna go ahead and manual this now. Whatever it is, guys, progress is progress. But That's why it's so important for you guys starting out and being novices and beginners that you're starting these habits early and that you're working towards that. Like I said, it all starts with having a realistic time frame on what you're trying to accomplish. And when you break it down, 24 hours in a day, even though you're not utilizing all 24 hours, is still a lot of time. You have so much time within a week to get your goals done, okay? Every single week, even now, with me taking a step back from racing, I'm still looking at it as, okay, how can I grow in the ride-out scene? How can I still grow in racing? How can I establish myself here? How can I execute myself here? There's so many different things that you can do to where I don't think you guys are taking into account with that because you guys have just started out. So it's so important, like I said, that you lay out your weekly list of what you want to accomplish and then have your long-term goal with that. Because guys, this is when you are building the foundations and building the habits that are going to last throughout your racing career or whatever it is that you choose to go and do. All right, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them down in that comment box, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and stay tuned for our next videos.
I know what I like, baby, I like you. Miss American Pie with the high IQ. Oh my, I do, just fly right through. We'll get high as a kite in the afternoon, 'cause I know